Good morning and welcome, and we have some really good music for you this morning. Darian Call is here, so if we could all bring our attention forward, that would be really nice. I hear the shushes, that's good. All right, Darian, take it away.
All right. This is a song called Rainbow, and is by Jack Johnson. I just discovered this one, and I really like it, and I felt it'd be really nice to play this one here. So. Up this morning, rainbow filled the sky. Well, I woke up this morning, rainbow filled the sky. I think it's God telling me everything's gonna be alright. Goodbye, old friend. When will we meet again? Goodbye, old friend. When will we meet again? I don't know when. I guess that I will see you then. Moved on down the road. Well, I packed my old guitar, moved on down the road. But I don't know where to go, but I know I just have to go. Well, I woke up this morning, rainbow filled the sky. Well, I woke up this morning, rainbow filled the sky. I think that's God telling me everything's gonna be alright. Well, I think that's God telling me everything's gonna be alright. Thank you very much.
Don't we all feel that way when we see a rainbow? Oh, it's just so beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. All right, well, welcome everyone, and it's going to be a wonderful morning. And if you're new with us, we have a friendship packet on the back wall. It's in the blue folder, and Doug's going over there to point it out. Thank you. And you're welcome to pick one up. It's got great information in it. All right, my name's, let's see, what is it today? Reverend Dr. Mary Mitchell. There you go. I got it right. Okay. And I'm a practitioner here, was a minister here with Reverend Sue for many years, and now I'm not full-time ministry, but doing practitioner work and doing a lot of memorials. That's interesting. Yeah, all right. If you're new with us today and you like a tour of the grounds, we have 3.5 acres here and 2 buildings in back. Love to show you around. So just come up to me and say, I want a tour. Susan did that. She said, I want a tour. I said, okay, let's go. So that would be fun to do with you. All right, we're going to sing to the children, and Judy's all ready. So, and Lindy's all ready with the camera, so you can turn and wave to the people in Paris, France, and Argentina, and Illinois. Who knows? All right, children, come on up. Anyone like to be a teacher's assistant this morning with all that energy? Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. All right. I'd like to thank Lindy and Joey for being here early, and love that, and Doug is here, and the kitchen cookies have been here and gone, and Judy's here for the piano, and our great musicians, so we're all raring to go. And let's see, if you have a cell phone, if you would put it on vibrate, I'd appreciate that. And birthdays. Anybody have a birthday in March? Please stand up. All right. Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. All right. Great. I know you haven't seen my husband in a while, but his 87th birthday was Friday. And so we had a great party for him. Neighbors came in with chocolate cake. His daughter made cheesecake. Oh, we had a really good time. Oh, and then this morning he said, do you have to go to church? Yes. Do you have to go to church? Yes. Do you have to go to church? Yes. That's why I'm retired, to help him remember things. Anyway, all right. We have a reading, and Lori's going to do that. That will be followed by 3 rings of the bell, and that's to take you deeper, just to take the key things in that reading and just take them in your heart a little bit. And then I'll do a spiritual mind treatment, which is our form of affirmative prayer. And then Reverend Sue will talk about unlimited possibilities. So that'll be a really great one. So, Lori? Oh, I don't know. I was having too much fun. Just a few announcements. Bead therapy session with Christy Carr, our practitioner, and that is Saturday, March 9th, 1 to 4. That's beading, and she has amazing variety of beads to choose from. It's really great. Laurie Beckman is going to do the New Moon Circle, Saturday, March 9th, 6:30 to 8:30. Maximum 15 female attendees. And then we're going to spring forward next weekend. If you did it this morning, good for you, but you can take a nap this afternoon. And so we're going to spring forward Saturday, March 9th so we'll be ready to be here on Sunday morning. March 10th is our annual congregational meeting, and it's really important for members to come because you don't get to vote on many things, but there you do. We vote on something that we need any response from you on. I haven't seen the agenda, but it's also voting for our new board members. We have 3 openings, and 3 people have volunteered to take that on, so we're real excited about that. That'll be after the service around 11:30, so grab something next Sunday to eat, come in, sit down, and we'll get through that meeting. Irene Bolmer has her Crystal Bowls sound healing bath. I've heard it's just fabulous. And journey through sound that's created by how she uses these crystal bowls. And it has a lot of healing frequencies. And then she leads a meditation through that also. So that's really wonderful. Friday, March 15th, 6:30 to 8. And then we have our congregational support team. That is to help people who have just had surgery or need a meal or something that would be very helpful to them at a time. And Maggie Fisher is our leader of that. And Maggie's phone number is in the awareness, and it's in your program today. Well, that wasn't as long as I thought. All right. That's good. So, Lori, thank you.
This morning's reading, chosen by Dr. Sue. Okay. So let it be written, so let it be done. Is called For a New Beginning by John O'Donohue. See? There are no accidents. In out-of-way places of the heart, where your thoughts never think to wander, this beginning has been quietly forming, waiting until you were ready to emerge. For a long time, it has watched your desire, feeling the emptiness growing inside you, noticing how you willed yourself on, still unable to leave what you had outgrown. It watched you play with seduction of safety and the gray promises that sameness whispered, heard the waves of turmoil rise and relent, wondered, would you always live like this? Then the delight when your courage kindled and out you stepped onto new ground, your eyes young again with energy and dream, a path of plenitude opening before you. Though your destination is not yet clear, you can trust the promise of this opening. Unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning that is at one with your life's desire. Awaken your spirit to adventure. Hold nothing back. Learn to find ease in risk. Soon you will be home in a new rhythm, for your soul senses the world that awaits you.
What I heard about in that reading is unfurling yourself, awaken to the world that's waiting for you. So in prayer, the first thing we recognize is that God is all there is, that infinite intelligence created you, particularly you, to be here in this life experience. And if in our mind we can unfurl ourselves, let go of things that are holding us back, just let go and open up and say, show me. What's mine to do? That's fun. That's engaging. That is an awakening to me. Something I need to know so that my life is even richer. And Spirit answers that, because that's what it does. It always says yes to what we want to know, what we want to see, what we want to understand. And I know that for each one of us, it's the law of the creative process at work. And don't think we're done. We're never done. We continue to evolve and learn and grow into ways of being that just enrich us tremendously. I give great thanks for this knowledge and putting it to use. Knowing Spirit always says yes. So in gratitude, I know these words flow through your mind and hopefully into your heart and mine too, as I awaken and unfurl even more to the joy and the excitement and the love that's waiting for us when we do so. And in that, we know this is true, it is the law, and so it is. Reverend Sue.
Back to Reverend.
Oh, sorry.
Last Reverend.
Thank you. Good morning. Oh, Judy, I appreciate your playing. Sometimes we get used to, okay, Judy's going to play the background, but it's exquisite. It always ties everything together. Music seems to lead us to our hearts, and that's why we do it. And the Rainbow Song was lovely. I remember going to an appointment on Friday, and it was kind of sunny at our house. And then when I got to the destination, it was like downpour, and I was like, ooh, I didn't know this was going to happen. And I told the guy, I said, it was all rainbows at my house. So I must have known you were going to sing that. So there's this clever, we are talking all this month about spiritual renewal. And we're reading To Bless the Space Between Us, a book of blessings. So each week I'll be choosing one of John O'Donohue's beautiful writings to kind of inspire the message that we all are here to hear. And today's lesson, Infinite Possibilities, is what we're going to look at from a little bit of a different angle. But this fun quote, as only Ram Dass can do, he says, if this is the beginning of the new perfect Aquarian age, this is written a while ago, my work is to quiet my mind, open my heart, and relieve suffering. Or, if this is the Armageddon, the end of the world, my work is to quiet my mind, open my heart, and relieve suffering. We can quit worrying about that. So, following the overall theme of Centers for Spiritual Living, it's the Grand Rising, and it's kind of an uplifting statement to make, and that's what we're looking at throughout this year, and our messages dovetail that. But we're going to revisit. We're going to pause and just revisit where we've been so far as we share this teaching of our philosophy. And I want to remind you, this whole center is based on the thoughts and wisdom of Earnest Holmes. And he developed a collective consciousness himself of the many world faith paths that were at his time and all the pioneers of New Thought and all the philosophers of ancient times. So we really can respect the fact that that's sometimes why you feel comfortable when you come in here. Somewhere, somehow, His way of being has spoken to us, and it is so inclusive of the wisdom and the truth of all ages. So his curiosity led him to shape his own understanding, and then he shared it with the world, who was at that time ready to hear what he had to say. And what was so special about Earnest Holmes, he was living proof. And if you ever get a chance just to download a YouTube video of Earnest Holmes, he's a man of great power, and he's not that big. A little man, in my mind. I haven't seen him actually in person, but on the videos, he's like, oh, that's him? And his voice is different. It's always so funny how you have this, and now there's Earnest Holmes, and it's like, hello, I'm Earnest Holmes. Go ahead. Anyway. But we have all of what he's done. I'm sorry, Ernest. Is science of mind. That's what we have today. And it's this path. This is what else is so engaging about this for me. It's a path of self-transformation. It's about personal responsibility. Oh, there's nowhere that any part of this teaching tells you what you have to do, what you have to be. So the personal responsibility is what calls us to a commitment then. How do we do that? Through spiritual practice, through spiritual investment in that, to engage with capital T truth, and to establish a confidence then that now you are indeed feeling good about yourself because you're walking your talk. You're allowing yourself to allow the beliefs to be a testimony of your own experience. And that builds your faith. And it's called new thought. All of this is called new thought. And when you embrace it as such, it shapes a new you. New thought, new you. So John O'Donohue says, when love awakens in your life in the night of your heart, it is like the dawn breaking within you. Where there was anonymity, now there is intimacy. Where there was fear, now there is courage. Where in your life there was awkwardness, now there is a rhythm of grace and gracefulness. When you used to be jagged, now you're elegant and in rhythm with yourself. When love awakens in your life, it's like a new rebirth and a new beginning. So powerful are these poets and mystics of our times. Pause here, though, and reflect. How many thoughts bombard you every morning when you wake up? Think about that. Think about this morning. You were slipping in and out of that dream state and into a world that you know that you have co-created. And you might realize, as I've asked that question, you might realize, well, it was just a lot of to-dos left over from yesterday. It's what I didn't do the day before. It's on my mind. Or are you allowing yourself to see that it's also filled, as you wake up, this day is filled with infinite possibilities? And what are you going to do today? How are you going to live this one wild and precious life today, starting today? So I was reflecting on this, and I thought about little children as they begin their lives. They are at that stage. Many parents here can recognize this, and grandparents. The child begins to ask so many questions about life. Why is this so? Why? You answer, but why? You answer, right, Mom? Why? Why? Endless questions can hum in the background of a parent's mind, and they have their own mind already full of their own stuff. So, but a willing parent does try to respond. To be the good parent, they try to respond to this inquisitiveness of this innocent child, but just for so long. until finally, worn and weary, the adult starts to respond, it's just because. Is that familiar to you? It's just because. Sometimes when I get the hard questions about spirituality, life after death, all those things, it's just because. And then go read about it somewhere. I don't know. I'm not dead yet. So you know, it's these ideas that we realize, oh, I can't answer certain things, but that's okay. But if that doesn't curtail the questions of the child, then the parent will plead with the child to just stop asking so many questions and go play, or go ask somebody else. And so I thought, is that where it begins? Is that where there's a time where we start to learn not to ask so many questions? That we're put down, and soon we can't even figure out, as we grow older, what our questions even are, because we've been shut down. We've been silenced, maybe one too many times. I just wonder that. Because when I'm in a class situation, one of the greatest privileges in my role of service at this time of my life is to be able to prepare a class, but then just to sit there and listen to the questions. I don't know what's going to come up, but I'm not the one that has to answer them. There is a divine influence flowing through each and every person that's participating in the class, that has done the study, that knows the way. I don't know the answer, but somewhere in the room someone does. So it's a beautiful opportunity, and that's what spiritual practices and spiritual study, when we invest ourselves, helps us to finally formulate, well, I do have a question, and I'm not afraid of the answer, and I want to hear, I want to grow, I want to learn. And then we also recognize, am I now in a time where I kind of feel shy about engaging in that way? And now I'm just simply used to my patterns of thinking, so I just assume I'm right, and there's nothing else to learn. I don't feel I have any need to question. Think about that. Think about those areas in your life. I love it when Sharon and I get into a discussion, because we can always talk about that quantum flip. There's always another side. Flip the coin. And sometimes that other side is so profound, it just takes your breath away, and you think, that was there all the time. I just needed to turn the coin, turn the page. But this is what I believe the answer to all of this is. You all wouldn't be here this morning if you weren't still asking those big questions in life. Questions about life and death, about God, about your purpose, about why bad things are happening in our world. Why do crummy things happen to you? All of these questions, we want to embrace a heart-level understanding so we can move on. An understanding that will quiet those doubts, those insecurities, those uncertainties. We want the answer. We want the healing. We want that wound to heal where we have been confused in our experience. And as long as we embrace a way to express ourselves in the world, as we try to learn and to choose our way, this inner urge evolves our understanding, which I appreciate. And to evolve your spiritual nature, here's where the infinite possibilities start to reveal themselves. To evolve our spiritual nature is embracing a new level of greater understanding of what is. So many times, Eckhart Tolle's volumes of work done, Neil Donald Walsh of our times, all these people, Ram Dass, all the ancient teachings, every Buddhist teachings, it is just what it is. Yeah, but what is for me really sucks. And you just want to keep, probing. No, that's what is. It's what you do with it. What are you going to do with what is? How are you going to shape your own heart around what is. Because what is happening. It doesn't change. It's the law of nature. But we change. We change our approach. We change our heart. We change our way of being around what is. And this is not saying, and you don't become a spiritual warrior. Charlie and I have this discussion often. Once you know your ground, you know your truth, then you stand for it. You fight for it. You believe in it. You care about humanity. That's why. Vote. No. That's about as political as I get. Where am I? Wasn't there. Okay. Because what can happen is we can spend a lot of time arguing with what is, right? But the comfort of knowing that infinite possibilities are what follow our idea of what is. And we turn to these deep contemplative practices. We dive into the uncertainty. We don't avoid it. We dive into some of our conflicted thoughts. We share them with one another. And we deepen our practices as we deepen our understanding. So I realize in my life, I was appreciating this. I have great gratitude for my opportunity to be in service here again for these very reasons, because I get immersed in various spiritual texts and at the same time immersed in the shared experience, as I mentioned, as we explore the ideas, as we personalize the ideas, as we witness each other's growth. It's powerful. I feed my mind. We feed each other's minds with this daily inspiration of a higher truth. And when I resonate with someone else's understandings and sharings, I grow. It quickens my heart into a deeper field, knowing that we walk each other. We walk each other through this lifetime together. There's no mistake why it feels like, I like that place. I like that center of spiritual living. I feel like I know everybody, but I don't know anyone. But I just feel comfortable. It's because there's a like-minded consciousness, an affinity for one another that's longing to grow and to deepen. So again, look at your first thoughts. Think of those moments, those sleepy ones when you first woke up. And was it gratitude for a fresh new day that started to stir you? Or was it a pain body, a restlessness that you were aware of? These aren't right or wrong. It just is. Pain body can just be. Or did you feel like you wanted to go back to sleep? Here's my favorite. Oh, the light is coming. Oh, I want to go back to sleep. I'm not ready. Because waking up means you have to face another day. And this morning, did you feel happy or depressed? Anxious, regretful? Regretful, that sounded like forgetful. But maybe you were forgetful too what day it is. Or were you inspired and encouraged to just get up, move on, get it going? Carpe diem, seize the day. Or timentium, dread the day. Latin. It's the only language I took. Latin. Not very helpful in the world, except in nursing. Earnest Holmes, though, coming back to him, he has these: I rise to meet the new day filled with confidence and strength. I rise and go forth into the dawn, inspired and refreshed by the living spirit within me. Oh, you go, Ernest. Yeah, what a wake up. And then he also says, I let go of yesterday and I have no fear of tomorrow, for this day is God's day. This day is God's day in my life and in my affairs. See what I mean? What a happy little man. The thoughts of the tomorrows and the yesterdays are swallowed up in the great realization of the perfect here and the complete now. One of the cornerstones of an affirmation that he brought to us through his teaching, and you hear it a lot in many of the centers. We used to say it as a call and response. See if you remember it. There's only one life. Remember that? There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is and that life is my life. All done. Yeah, isn't that great? So if you want to refocus your intentions every day, put that by your clock in the morning as you are waking up to see what time it is and then to see what God thought is there waiting for you. That's inviting the divine to lead your day. Because I like this idea of life. Life is a divine principle, life with the capital L. It's one of the highest spiritual principles, along with love and light and wholeness, all these attributes of the divine or of God, of nature, of the mystery, of spirit, of the Tao, of the nameless, of whatever it is in your own field of knowing, however you name that greater idea of who you are. So connecting to the divine principles with the concept of life with a capital L, remember life breathes you. Life leads us. That newborn baby is hungry for that breath of life. And that breath is what we grieve when we see our loved ones take their last breath. Life in the breath as we know it. Life inspires us and invites us to co-create with it. And we recognize as we invest more and more in this teaching, we hear that there's a pattern of good. There's a pattern of good that is unfolding and it's perfect. And we could say along the way, but why is that happening if it's perfect? His story's not over yet. Keep turning the pages of your life. It will be revealed. All it is for you to do is to hold faith into that knowing, faith to lead you to an understanding of life and to evolve yourself to apply this truth to lead your way. This is another profound teaching that I find in the Gita, because the Bhagavad Gita, do all things with love and release the fruits of labor. Now I say that, I mentioned it last week, but I'll probably keep saying it because it is so exactly right on target. It helps us walk that razor's edge of love. Because if love is all there is, then any of the busyness that we judge around it, around whatever's going on, that's spoiling the fruits of our labor. That's not what we want to harvest. That's not what we want to bank on. We want to do what we do for the divine. We want to serve. We want our work, our life's work, to be one of service to the divine. Whatever else happens, that's fruits. That's fruits you can harvest. Nothing seems to be coming the way you want. Let it go. Just keep on loving. Keep on the path. Because we cannot judge the neighbors. We cannot judge our politics. We cannot judge ourselves. So love and do what is yours. And let go of the rest. That's aligning with the spiritual labor. We have to let go. We have to let go of those blocks, that littleness that is causing us a hesitation of birthing our highest self, birthing that which lies within us. That one life, our source of being, is expressing so uniquely through each and every one of us, and we have to live our divine humanness with that expression of love. Now, sometimes we don't want to play, right? You could probably be censoring a lot of what I'm saying. But that's because there's levels of consciousness that we live and move and have our being in. Levels of understanding, levels of consciousness. And there's 4 that they've kind of mapped out that are helpful in a spiritual context, because the first one is, we remember, we slip in and out of these all the time, but it could be we are the victim. We feel like the victim to what's going on, to what is. And the answers to what is are filled with, remember, all these unlimited possibilities, so we have to turn to a deeper, I read that. We settle into that first level, it's done unto me. That's what we feel like. Life's just being done unto me. And we can park there for a long time, build up a camp. But until we start taking responsibility, we walk through these doors, you start taking responsibility for our part of what is, we start to evolve to the second level, experiencing life as me. We start to realize I'm part of the creation here. I'm part of all of this. And then we invest our practices and we devote our time to our divine partnership with something greater. And we choose then to start to attract to ourselves the experiences for our good to evolve. We start to witness in the third stage, Spirit moving through us. Oh, this stuff works. When you're saying that, you say this philosophy works. You're in that third level. You're making room for God. And we're starting to demonstrate what we want. And then finally, that fourth level, that's the highest level. It's a state of devotion. It's what in yoga terms, bhakti, pure devotion, pure surrender. You live a spiritual union. There's a oneness that you recognize and know, a marriage to the divine. Life presents itself, life with a capital L, presents itself as you, and Spirit expresses as you, in and as you, a pure channel. And when we can trust that we are living in that, then we're led by our faith. And it's a beautiful roadmap. Suddenly, as we travel back and forth, remember, we go back and forth through these levels of a consciousness. Now we know our destination is to unify with that sense of oneness. To trust our intuition, to allow our hearts to be vulnerable, and to live the truth. There's where Earnest Holmes says, this divine pattern would be imperfect. This divine pattern of consciousness would be imperfect without you. Dare to be yourself. Stand in wonder before the majesty and the might, the beauty and the power of the divine presence, which seeks expression through your individual life. It's an irresistible urge. He goes on to say, this urge wants us to be happy, whole, and express the fullness of life. This divinity is stirring your imagination right now. It's proclaiming itself through every creative endeavor that you take on. It has produced, yes, sages and saints, saviors, and it has allowed a new world to be realized as we hold our thoughts to that idea of a destiny. So each day is calling you to stretch into your awakening. Avoid the ruts. Be willing to embrace a new idea about yourself and your choices. There's always a better way. There's always a better way to live in your truth. And be willing to let go of things you've done, your routines, and even some of the self-study. Sometimes people border that, restrict that. I'm only going to study this particular author and no other. It narrows you. It still feeds you. It can still be your highest truth. But let in the other ideas that can inspire you and reveal to you. Stay open at the top. Oh, by doing this, the old habits will fall away without you even realizing it. It'll redirect your energy to fulfill a life that's really allowing you to recognize all of the attributes of God. These are love, light, wholeness, harmony, creativity, abundance, and joy. What is God? That is God. Some aspect of you is allowing itself to be revealed. Eckhart Tolle, I mentioned him earlier from The Power of Now. He said, let me give you this visual analogy to illustrate the point of surrender. You are walking along a path at night surrounded by the thick fog, but you have a powerful flashlight that cuts through the fog, creates that narrow, clear space in front of you. The fog is your life situation. It's including past and future. The flashlight is your conscious presence. That is the clear space. That is now. Get that beautiful metaphor. So we make a choice. We make a choice to surrender. Accept in that surrender that there is a divinity that will hold you. It's the net that you fall into. It will lead you. It will. It'll lead you right where you need to be. There's no fear. Today, you make that commitment to align with a spiritual wisdom and a spiritual truth that will indeed forever guide you. I'm going to invite Judy up. I have something I want to share with you. It's very personal. I have my son's permission to share this with you. The other day in the practitioner training, they're doing their scenarios with one another where one of them will bring up something that's they need prayer for, and the other person will treat for them, do the prayer work. And I have 5 students, and so they pair off, and that leaves one person out. So I said, I'll be that one. I hold, but then we didn't have time. But I said, this is what I hold in my heart when it comes around grief, when it comes as a mother, when my children's hearts are broken. They're going through their life experience. I trust in that they are led by love. My love, Charlie's love, their father's love. I know that. But I also know the pain. And my son wrote me something yesterday. He shares his journal with me, which, that's a privilege. And I'm going to share the poem that he wrote in a moment, but and I asked him if I could share it, and he said, no, it's too personal. And then he wrote back and he said, I don't know why. I wanted to say yes, but my writings taken out of context will make no sense. So this is my son's heart, his heart to you through me. Sometimes we catch a glimpse of our lives reflecting something magical and hard to explain. But we feel it to be true and are perhaps content to keep it to ourselves in order to preserve its magic. It doesn't take much of our intuitive knowing to be clouded by the rational doubts and opinions of others' thinking. So my little backstory. I made a music video with my friends last year. To my surprise, found it featured in a small film festival. In the video, I am singing a verse from the Tao Te Ching, traveling through space, and I enter a black hole, discover my true nature, and disappear on the other side. The same day, my friends and I traveled from Portland to Eugene to see the video in the festival. The moon passed in front of the sun and dimmed the late morning into darkness. Between the morning eclipse and the evening film festival, I was surprised to hear that my landlords were selling the house I was renting and I needed to move. For me, there was comfort in the alignment of events because of the fear of losing my home. And a month later, my girlfriend was held in the context of something larger and much more magical. I could see the changes in my life as a reflection of the art I had made, as if it were a powerful affirmation to the divine cast like a spell. Change can be scary, but we know that our heart and mind is striving for deeper spiritual understanding. And if we can be confident that the change we face is a blessing and ultimately serving us. So his poem is titled In Between. The liminal experience between worlds is named Bardo. Where is and is not occupy the same space. Home is a fuzzy possibility. Relationship is a fuzzy possibility. Work is a fuzzy possibility. An eclipse shaded the sky in October as landlords take back their home. We're given 3 months to be gone. That same night, we traveled to Eugene to witness my image travel as light above the heads of a film festival attendees. I drift through space, singing the Tao Te Ching and mantra, in the house I've just lost as my ship. We becomes me as a lover departs, my broken heart seeking solace in prayer. I am in between joy and sorrow, in between excitement and fear, in between this world and the next. That's a moment in my boy's heart who's finding his way and showing me the way and willing to share his heart, to share the way with you. So, Judy, thank you. And let's just praise that each day is filled with that level of wonder and opportunity for everyone, for all the world, for all mankind. Let's just sit with that in a stillness and a silence as Darian, you come on up and take us into your song.
So originally I had something else planned, but after hearing that and hearing kind of like the vulnerability in what you were speaking about, Reverend Sue, I write a lot of music myself, and there's a song that I wrote years ago that I'm starting to kind of relate to more in hindsight. It's kind of like, I kind of wrote it as a way to figure out my own trauma in a way, in a vague way, but I figured I'd play it just kind of on a whim after I was sitting there, so hope you guys enjoy it. Time lapse, let it consume all the space in this room. Just leave it alone, this is your tune. Let in whatever soothes you. Collapse at the edge, monuments placed in honor of your regrets. This night I left you choking on it. You won't let you forget. Are you feeling better? Is it getting better? Are you feeling better? Is it getting better? Too much heart for you to grasp. Never seemed to relax. It's okay, it's all in your past. Let in whatever soothes you. Books on the edge, monuments placed in honor of your regrets. Last night it left you choking on it. Won't let you forget. Are you feeling better? Is it getting better? Are you feeling better? Is it getting better? Thank you.
Yes. If the ushers would come forward, please. And as they do that, I want to share with you, if you don't get the Sunday paper, there was an obituary in there this morning for Pete Peters. I don't know if you knew Pete, but he was a member of our center, and I always enjoyed talking with him because he was an attorney for many, many years. He was on the board of supervisors. He was in every social group in town, lived a really wonderful life, and died after a short illness. And he was 80, and that just happened about a week ago. So I thought, how could he be 80? And you know how it is, you see people for so long and they always look the same. And I thought, no, that couldn't be Pete. And then I read it and it was like, oh yeah, that was Pete. What a gift he gave to Shasta County and the whole community. So I just wanted you to know that. All right, so we are talking about our offering. And as we prepare to give our offering this morning, you know, our hearts are filled with love and appreciation, since what is offered here in this spiritual center is for our well-being. We're filled with gratitude, knowing that thanks to the spiritual practices, thanks to Earnest Holmes and this philosophy, our lives stay in balance. And it's really true, as we give, we receive. give great thanks for all the blessed donations received in the offering this morning and those that come in during the week. And I know each dollar supports this spiritual family in so many ways as we grow together, pray together, and give thanks for all that this center has been blessed with today and always. And so it is. All right, the practitioners here in service to you today are myself and Christy and Shirley, and Charlie will be by the bell. Come up and say you'd like a prayer, and we'll take you to one of our rooms and do a special prayer for you. All right, thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me. All right, and I guess we'll end this one on a interesting note. This one is a song that I really love that kind of gets me in a very spiritual headspace. It's one that isn't necessarily obvious, but it is called Fade Into You, and it's by a band called Mazzy Star. You. I wanna take the breath that's true. I look to you when I see nothing. I look to you to see the truth. You live your life, you go in shadow. You pull apart and you'll go play. Some kind of night into your darkness. Colors your eyes with what's not there. Fade into you. Strange you never knew. Fade into I think it's strange you never knew. A stranger's light comes on slowly. A stranger's heart without a home. You put your hands into your head. And when smiles cover your heart, fade into you. Strange I think it's strange you never knew. Thank you, thank you.
Well done, Darian. Thank you. He has a way with that voice that kind of makes it feel like your own heart singing, but when it comes out, it's not that, but it feels like that inside. Very, very real. I wanted to just thank you all for being here today, and I didn't get a quote in that I thought you might think was pretty interesting, because I mentioned Eckhart Tolle on The Power of Now. Did you know this one? And then you'll be surprised who it is. It's being here now that's important. There's no past, no future. Time is very misleading. It's a misleading thing. All there is ever is the now. We can gain experience from the past, but we can't relive it. And we can hope for the future, but we don't know if there is one. George Harrison. There you go, right? So the messages keep coming to us from the universe all the time. And I was asking you what was on your mind this morning. And one of the things that floated through mine was the friends I miss at Shasta Regional. And then I think that manifested Ruby here today. Ruby's over there being shy, but she's even wearing a heart that she used to wear on her scrubs. And I miss you, Ruby. I miss that time. But I think when we develop community and we talk to each other heart to heart, I really believe that we create these cords, these invisible cords to one another. And so there's just these cords. And then when we think of somebody, it travels along that cord from your heart into theirs. I just believe in that magical idea. So think about all the connected cords in your life today and have a blessed day and enjoy the social hall and the feast for you there. And tonight, if you need some meditation practice, the gong meditation begins at 5:30. So have a beautiful day and a beautiful life. Thank you.